Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crescendo Concerts. This is a music series that celebrates local youth playing with special guest artists. And this is the kickoff to our third season, so I'm really happy to see you all here. The event's going to be really great. My name is Jessica Catron. I am Executive Director of Grow Music Missoula and Missoula Crescendo Club. Grow Music had a philanthropic arm called Crescendo Club since 2022. We were fiscally sponsored by Arts Missoula, but as of August 1st, Missoula Crescendo Club is its own 501c3. So super excited, really thrilled about that. Thank you. And we do this in partnership with the library, and sponsorships make it possible. So this concert is sponsored by the Good Food Store and the law office of Joanne McCormick. So thanks to them. MCAT is back here documenting today. This event is being videotaped by Missoula Community Access Television as part of their Media Assistant Grant Program for nonprofit organizations like Crescendo Club. They do have a live stream, and it's available on their Facebook page, Missoula Community Media Resource. Thank you, MCAT, for being here. Our mission is to provide access, resources, and opportunities to thrive through creative expression. So, before we dive into the music, I want to take a quick opportunity to do a little icebreaker, and we're going to play Raise Your Hand If. You ready? Raise your hand if you play or have ever played an instrument. Sweet, that's a lot of talent out there. All right, raise your hand if you like to sing or whistle in the shower or in the car. Concerts for yourself totally count. All right, raise your hand if music has ever made you laugh out loud. Raise your hand if music's ever made you cry. Like every day. Raise your hand if you know an entire song completely by heart. What are some of the songs? Give some to me. Say it again? Wanted Soldier. What else?
Row, row, row your boat.
Nice. Anything over here? Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever heard live music that really inspired you or moved you. And finally, raise your hand if you've shared some music, maybe a song or a playlist or a video with a friend or a family member recently. Great. All right. Well, in just a couple minutes, we've proven that music inspires and connects us. And so these concerts here aim to celebrate that and to bring the community together. So thanks for being here. The other purpose is it's a fundraiser. So we raise money for kids to give them more access to music. As a kid who was fortunate to receive a lot of scholarships, having financial support has allowed me to do what I love, and it's instilled in me a belief, a deep belief, that all children who have a passion or a drive for something, anything, should have access to it. So, the Crescendo Club is a fund dedicated to providing access and opportunities for kids who do thrive through creative expression. So as you listen to these amazing performers today, I ask that you please consider making a donation. On the back of your program, there's a couple ways you can do it. There's a basket back there. If you've got a couple bucks, it all goes to the same place and is very appreciated. So thank you. We are going to start with some sounds from our special guests, Loren Stillman and John Wicks. And as they come up here, I'll tell you about them. So they can come on up, guys. Where are you? Oh, there. All right, Loren Stillman is an internationally recognized saxophonist and composer whose work has been praised for its originality, lyricism, and depth. He has performed and recorded with some of the leading voices in contemporary jazz. His music balances improvisational freedom with composition. In addition to performance, Loren is a dedicated educator, bringing his professional experience to the next generation of musicians. John Wicks is a drummer, songwriter, and producer, best known for his work with the internationally acclaimed band Fitz and the Tantrums. With deep roots in jazz, pop, and rock, John has performed on major stages worldwide while also remaining a passionate supporter of the Missoula music scene. His versatility makes him one of the most sought-after drummers in the industry. The remainder of today's performance will showcase skilled young musicians from across the Missoula community, and I'm so excited for what you're about to hear. Enjoy.
Thank you. This is the wonderful John Wicks. And I'm really fortunate to have met John, and we've been working together, collaborating here in Missoula for 3 years at least now. We have this great trio with a bassist named Tommy Seipel, and we've been playing at a great venue in town called Suite 2 every other Wednesday, so you're all invited to come at any point in time. We'd love to see you down there. It's a great venue. We have a mailing list back there. I just also wanted to mention, I want to get back to the music, but I wanted to mention that John and I are starting a improvised music workshop at the ZAC starting on Wednesday this week. And it's going to be going for 32 or 34 weeks, something like that. But it was a generous grant given to the ZAC, and they approached us about doing an improv class there. So if you know anybody who's interested, I think we're taking like 15 students. It'd be a really great opportunity for young, aspiring jazz musicians, improvisers to come take part and try things out with us. I think the main theme is that we're going to be playing together.
And it's free for students, yeah?
And it's free, well, not just for students, for anybody, it's free. But I think they're trying to keep it to an age range, like 12 to 18. So anyway, if you know anybody, please take a flyer, let us know. Yeah, John also teaches at the ZAC. He teaches private lessons. So great use of amazing musicians in the community. And we're just trying to get this music thing off the ground here in Missoula. So we want to say thank you to Jessica for having us and thinking of us to play for opening this. And we're going to do one more for you. This is called Chippy. Thanks again. John Wicks on the drums. Loren Stillman, thank you so much for coming. And hope you'll make a donation to this great cause. We're going to show up at the end of the concert too to play with some great musicians from Hellgate. So please stick around for that and for everybody else involved. I want to announce the next musician, performer. A young man named Ziggy will be playing guitar. A Toy and Waltz by Bartholomew Calatayud. I hear he's really good. So this is Ziggy Stillman on guitar.
I'm Bonnie. I'll be playing violin. Really, I'm playing a violin. Sorry. I'm going to be playing Jasmine Flower by Victoria Bond. And this is a piece that she wrote based on a Chinese folk tune, and then she wrote the theme of it and then made a bunch of variations. So, enjoy. And I am one of the cellists in this cello quartet. This song is called Goodbye Pork Pie Hat. It's by Charles Mingus, and it's an homage to Lester Young, a famous saxophone player. And he always used to wear a pork pie hat, so hence the name Goodbye Pork Pie Hat. I hope you enjoy.
else, I play horn. I'm a student at the University of Montana studying music education and horn performance. And I will be playing Nocturno by Franz Strauss. And something that really inspires me about this composer in particular is, like, yes, he's a composer and he's well known for that, but he was also a horn player and very passionate about it and passionate about education. And that really resonates with me because we just have that in common, I think. But during his lifetime, he really fought for horn players to have a seat at the table and fought for their pension and rights and for them to be viewed as musicians along with string players and other people. And he really fought hard for that. And he also valued education so highly that when he gave instruction to his students, he didn't charge. So nobody paid him for lessons. Nobody had to pay their way through education with him because he was just so passionate in sharing horn with everybody. And he believed that everybody deserves that. And so I'll be performing one of his pieces today because that's just so special.
my name is Eleanor. I'm going to be playing that piano over there. This microphone's kind of high. The piece I'm going to be playing is Night Shadows by Melody Bover. Melody Bover composed music for students, and she's been a teacher for over 40 years now, and I think that's pretty cool. So.
My name is Kylie, and I'm going to be playing the jig from Box Suite number 1. And what I think is really cool about this piece is it's so much fun to play. But, you know, the name jig derives from a dance called the jig. So hopefully it's kind of dancey. So.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Bradley Buchholz. I'm a senior in high school and a whistler. And I guess if I'm going to say anything, I'll just say this. Before I came up here, my dad told me, I think the key to whistling is to just enjoy yourself. And I'm kind of like, well, what do you know about whistling? But also, it really reminded me of something I heard from a whistler in some video once. I don't even know his name, but he said, you get the feeling that anyone who whistles must be happy. And I find that to be really true, because when I whistle, I am really happy. So here goes nothing. I'm whistling Can't Take My Eyes Off You by Frankie Valli.
Riley on the spot for a second. Tell us what you're doing in October, Riley.
So, as it turns out, in California, they do an international whistling competition. So I was like, hey, when am I ever going to get the chance to do that again? Yeah, so October 2nd, I'm going to go and compete with some international people.
Hi, I'm Jazz. This is Bonnie, Brendan, and Addie, and we're going to be playing Rivers number 8 by the Danish String Quartet. It's a traditional Danish folk tune. Fun fact, the original name, Stern's Rand, was probably misheard from the English version, Stewart's Rand. So, yeah.
All right, as our last set gets set up here, I'd like to invite my son Cedar up. He usually takes this time to do some music trivia, but this time we're gonna change it up, and we have come up with some imaginative questions, and he's going to interview our special guests up here, Jazz Trio. So, are you on the first question?
Yeah.
If your spirit animal had its own band, what style of music would it play?
I think it would be rock and roll for sure.
Okay.
A wolf.
Okay. Jack. If aliens landed on Earth and asked you what is music, how would you explain it?
Are the aliens safe or am I gonna get abducted? Okay.
I was not prepared for that question.
Well, I'd probably tell them that music's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, you know, it's just, they kind of gotta listen to it to know. It's just, you know, I'd probably show them.
Okay. Noah. If every time you walked into a room, a theme song played, what would it be?
I would do Darth Vader's Imperial March.
See.
Sweet. Well, before we are joined by the great Loren Stillman and John Wicks, Don, Noah, and I will be playing the tune Softly as in a Morning Sunrise, played by many greats, including John Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, Miles Davis, I could go on. But we will be basing our arrangement off of Vince Guaraldi's version of Softly as in a Morning Sunrise, so hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you. We were really excited to get to play with Loren Stillman and John Wicks in this next song, What Is This Thing Called Love by Cole Porter. The next song we're going to be doing is Moon Train by Woody Shaw. And yeah, just thank you to everybody for coming out and watching us. And thanks so much again to Loren Stillman and John Wicks for playing with us. This is awesome.
much. Thanks for being here. I do have a favor. If anyone wants to stick around and help us stack some chairs, we would be most grateful and get out of here before the library closes. So thank you if you're willing to do that. Our next concert is November 16th, and that's featuring Matt Nord on guitar. He's going to be sharing some of his original music, and then he's going to actually lead the entire room in a circle song, or a singing circle. He's got a few songs that he's going to teach everybody. It's for everybody. It feels really good to sing in a big group. All voices welcome. All you shower singers should show up. So that should be really fun. And please consider donating. Thank you so much for being here.